2,500-year-old princess mummy with modern tattoos, found in Siberia, shocks archaeologists. In 1993, the perfectly preserved 2,500-year-old mummy of a woman, frozen in eternal ice and untouched by tomb raiders, was discovered by archaeologists in the Ukok Plateau of Siberia, Russia. The archaeologists stated that the tomb was remarkably complete and unusual, leaving them astonished at the body's superb preservation, to the point that the ice surrounding the tomb had not melted since it froze thousands of years ago. This discovery immediately attracted global attention from researchers and the public. The woman was later referred to as the Princess of Ukok, or the Ice Maiden, becoming one of the most important archaeological finds of the 20th century. Based on the dating and evidence found, experts believe she belonged to the Pazyryk culture, an ancient civilization that flourished in Siberia. Evidence of this lies in the fact that her mummy was discovered with intricate tattoos, which were common in Pazyryk culture and represented the unique aesthetic beauty of that era. However, what makes this tomb particularly special is not only the mummy itself, but also the way she was buried. She was interred with 6 horses, a very rare occurrence for women in this culture. In this society, only individuals with special roles, such as shamans or spiritual leaders, were buried with horses to accompany them to the afterlife. One of the most compelling theories suggests that she may have been a shaman. This theory is further supported by chemical tests that revealed traces of mercury and copper in her nostrils. It is possible that she inhaled these substances to expand her consciousness and enter a trance-like state as part of spiritual rituals. Additionally, medical analysis revealed that the Princess of Ukok was not only a tall woman, but also in very poor health towards the end of her life. She was suffering from terminal breast cancer, which could explain her frailty and weakened state before she passed away. Despite her severe illness, she was not abandoned, but was taken along by her family during their migration to the highlands of Ukok for livestock grazing. Notably, the archaeologists also discovered cannabis in her tomb, which may have been used to alleviate pain from her cancer and other injuries. Although her exact identity remains a mystery, this mummy has become a symbol of an ancient culture and a valuable resource for researchers to better understand the lives, beliefs, and art of the Pazyryk people. After more than 20 years of being displayed at the Novosibirsk Archaeological and Ethnographic Museum, the mummy was transferred to the Gorno-Altaysk National Museum in 2012, where the public continues to have the opportunity to admire and learn about this enigmatic woman. After hearing this story, you're probably intrigued, right? But lucky for you, this isn't everything I want to share in this video. There are still many other mummies with even more fascinating and mysterious stories that have been discovered by archaeologists around the world. So, which mummies are those? Where were they found? Let's explore them right now. 300-year-old mummy of mother and son, found in church crypt. In 1994, during the restoration of the Dominican church in the town of Vac, Pest County, Hungary, an unexpected archaeological discovery occurred. Workers accidentally uncovered a crypt containing more than 250 bodies, all dating back about 300 years. Immediately, an archaeological team was called in to study the find, and among the mummies discovered, 2 attracted special attention. These were the mummies of a 38-year-old woman named Veronika Skripets and her 1-year-old son, Johannes Orlovits. Over the years, the story of this mother and son has continued to captivate interest. However, it wasn't until April 2016 that scientists from the Orange County Global Medical Center in California conducted an in-depth autopsy on their mummies to understand their lives and the cause of death. At that time, anthropologist Ildiko Sikosi from Hungary shared that the autopsies would help us better understand the hardships they faced in life, especially the high child mortality rate when antibiotics and vaccines were unavailable. This means that thousands of children suffered and died from diseases that had no effective treatments. The story became even more compelling when scientists used modern technology, such as CT scans, to analyze the mummies. The CT scan results revealed that Veronika Skripets showed signs of tuberculosis, with clear scars in her lungs, and that the cause of her death in 1808 was also due to this disease. As for the 1-year-old Johannes Orlovits, he appeared to be a well-nourished, healthy child before his sudden death, possibly from dysentery, a disease caused by bacteria leading to severe diarrhea. Sadly, Veronika was not the only mother to witness the early death of her child. She had 3 children, but none survived past the age of 2. The discovery of the mummies of this mother and son was part of a larger find in the Dominican church crypt, which contained over 250 mummies from the 1700s and 1800s. These mummies were well preserved due to the dry, cool environment in the crypt, allowing them to retain many perfect details, including hair, skin, and clothing. Archaeologists were astonished when they opened the coffins and found that the soft tissues had not decomposed, a phenomenon typically only seen with skeletons. The mummies of the mother and son were displayed at the Bowers Museum in the World's Mummies exhibit in 2016. Although it is unclear where they are currently located, these studies have provided valuable insights into the lives and deaths of people in ancient societies, as well as the challenges they faced without modern medical treatments. The lives and deaths of Veronica and Johannes Orlovitz are not only a part of history, but also a testament to the great challenges people in that era endured. 2,000-year-old fetal mummy in tiny coffin. A remarkable archaeological discovery recently made at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, UK, has shed light on many mysteries surrounding ancient Egyptian beliefs and burial rituals. British scientists discovered a mummified fetus in a tiny coffin just 17 inches long, about the size of a shoebox. The coffin was initially uncovered by archaeologists in 1907, and they believed it contained only the dried internal organs of a deceased person. However, after many years of study, the truth was revealed in an unexpected way. Initially, Egyptologists at the museum used X-rays to observe the contents of the small coffin, but the results were inconclusive. Several years later, researchers decided to use a CT scanner, and this breakthrough allowed them to discover the shape of a miscarried fetus. The CT scan results showed that the fetus had likely died at around 16 to 18 weeks of gestation. The most remarkable finding was that the fetus was positioned with its arms crossed over its chest, a posture typical of the dead in ancient Egyptian culture. Moreover, the intricacy of the tiny coffin and the elaborate decoration indicated the importance of burying unborn children in ancient Egyptian society. Previously, scientists had discovered other mummified fetuses in the tomb of King Tutankhamun, believed to have died at around 25 and 37 weeks of gestation. However, this 2,000-year-old fetal mummy, with perfectly preserved 10 fingers and toes, is the youngest fetal mummy ever found. Based on these findings, it is believed that the ancient Egyptians believed that even unborn children had the chance to experience life in the afterlife if properly buried. This reflects a significant aspect of their religious beliefs, where death was not seen as an end, but as a transition to another world. 3,000-year-old mummy found beneath a trash pile in Peru. Recently, archaeologists in Lima, Peru, discovered a mummy that is approximately 3,000 years old beneath a trash heap. The excavation was later carried out by students from San Marcos University, who were the first to uncover the mummy's hair and skull. Before starting the search, archaeologists had to remove about 17,600 pounds of trash from the area, a challenging but rewarding task when they uncovered these valuable artifacts underground. The mummy is believed to belong to the Manche culture, a community that lived around the Lima region from approximately 1500 to 1000 BC. The Manche culture is known for its distinctive architecture, especially U-shaped temples that were oriented toward the rising sun. Archaeologist Miguel Aguilar explained that the mummy was discovered in a tomb located in the center of a U-shaped temple. This suggests that the mummy might have been part of a religious ritual, possibly a person left behind or sacrificed during the final stages of the temple's construction. The burial practices of the Manche people were also unique. The body of the individual was laid flat, a practice typical of the Manche culture during the Formation era around 3,000 years ago. The mummy was wrapped in cloth made from cotton and plant fibers, a common mummification technique in many ancient cultures of Peru. Before the arrival of the Spanish conquerors, mummification was practiced by various Peruvian cultures. Each culture had its own methods of preserving the dead, often to protect the soul or to ensure rebirth into another world. Some mummies were buried with great ceremony, while others were placed in fetal positions to symbolize rebirth. In fact, during important festivals, these mummies were sometimes brought outside and paraded, reflecting their sacred role in society. This new discovery will undoubtedly help archaeologists better understand the development of ancient Peruvian civilizations and shed more light on the beliefs and rituals of the indigenous people who lived and left a deep mark on the history of the region. perfectly preserved mummy of an Austrian priest. Recently, archaeologists stunned the world with the announcement of a discovery: the perfectly preserved mummy of an Austrian priest who died in 1746 with no signs of decay despite being buried for centuries. The mummy was found in a crypt at St. Thomas am Blasenstein in Upper Austria, and the locals refer to it as Leather Franzi. The priest, named Franz Xaver Sidler von Rosenegg, was a prominent cleric in the 18th century, dying sometime around 1746. What makes this body particularly remarkable is its perfect preservation, despite being buried in a conventional manner without the use of ancient embalming techniques. Upon discovery, archaeologists noted that the priest's body was still dressed, particularly in the traditional Austrian lederhosen outfit. The marks on his body and clothing showed no signs of decomposition, a phenomenon that would be nearly impossible under normal conditions. This unusual find prompted scientists to conduct further research to understand why the body of an 18th century person appeared to have self-embalmed so perfectly. To answer this question, Dr. Andreas Nerlich, along with forensic scientists Peter Hofer and Oliver Peschel from the University of Munich, spent 10 months examining the mummy. The study concluded that the priest's cause of death was tuberculosis, not epilepsy, as some had initially speculated. The signs on his lungs provided evidence of tuberculosis and hemorrhaging. In addition, one of the more intriguing discoveries was a mysterious glass object found in the lower abdomen of the mummy. This is believed to be an instrument the priest used in his work before his death. Furthermore, the examination of his skin and bones revealed that he lived a comfortable life and did not engage in hard labor, though the soot marks on his teeth indicated that he was a heavy smoker. The mummy of Franz Xaver Sidler von Rosenegg has since been returned to the crypt for public viewing and tourism purposes. This discovery not only provides a fresh look at a little-known historical figure, but also opens up intriguing questions about the natural conditions and mysterious phenomena that science has yet to fully explain. Unembalmed bodies that haven't decayed for hundreds of years. Throughout the history of archaeology, unusual discoveries of perfectly preserved bodies that have not undergone any embalming processes have always attracted the attention of the scientific community. One of the most astonishing discoveries occurred in 1647, when the body of a man was found in a tomb at St. Andrew's Church in the small town of Venzone, located in the Udine province of Italy. What made this body, along with several others found later, particularly special was that it had not decayed despite being buried underground for centuries. The appearance of these perfectly preserved mummies left researchers astounded. By the 20th century, a total of 42 such bodies had been discovered in tombs within the Venzone churchyard. However, an earthquake in 1976 reduced this number to just 15. What sets these bodies apart from other famous mummies around the world is that they had never decomposed, even though they were not embalmed using either chemical or manual methods. Scientists have pointed out that these bodies share some common characteristics. They are extremely light, and the skin has turned a yellow-brown color, resembling leather. Their weight ranges from 22 to 44 pounds, and despite the passage of time, some internal organs are still largely intact, albeit changed to some extent. The discovery of these bodies in such a strange state of preservation prompted researchers to investigate further to find out why they had not decomposed like other bodies. One hypothesis is natural mummification. According to scientists, these bodies were not embalmed in the traditional way, like those in Egypt or Mexico, but instead underwent a natural dehydration process. One important factor that might explain this phenomenon is the presence of a parasitic fungus called Hypha tombicidia. This fungus was found in some of the bodies as well as in wooden coffins. It thrives in the damp environment of the tombs and has the ability to draw moisture out of the body's organs before they can decompose. This process helps the skin dry out and resist decomposition when exposed to air. However, some scientists suggest that, in addition to the help of this fungus, the surrounding limestone soil could have also played an important role in preserving the bodies. Limestone is a mineral that has moisture-absorbing properties and helps prevent decomposition, which may have been crucial in maintaining the integrity of these bodies for centuries. Despite the many hypotheses proposed, they remain just that, hypotheses, and the true cause of why the bodies in Venzone have not decayed remains a mystery that has yet to be fully explained. Research into natural mummification and the factors influencing body preservation continues to face challenges, particularly when it comes to observing and testing the natural elements that affect this process. Therefore, the strange mummies of Venzone remain one of the intriguing mysteries in archaeology, raising many unanswered questions. These discoveries not only provide a unique look into natural mummification processes, but also prompt us to contemplate the mysterious factors that may have existed centuries ago, which modern science has yet to fully explain. The mummified monk in meditation. You may not believe it, but in the world of Buddhism, many strange phenomena have left both scientists and the public amazed. One of these phenomena is the discovery of mummified monks who remain perfectly preserved, even after many years, or even centuries. These mummies are not only important historical relics, but also a testament to the miraculous preservation of the human body through special methods passed down from ancient times. One of the most notable cases is that of the monk Wu Yunqing from China. After his death, his disciples buried him in a special coffin, which was then transferred to a ceramic coffin and sealed carefully. Although he had died 17 years prior, when archaeologists excavated the tomb in December 2014, the body of Wu Yunqing remained nearly unchanged, with only slight shrinkage of the muscles due to dehydration. This led experts to consider the natural preservation abilities of the human body in a special environment. Records of the monk's life and spiritual practice have also been preserved, creating a story that is both mystical and fascinating. Not only in China, but a similar discovery in Mongolia also captured the attention of the scientific and Buddhist communities. In the Songanokirkhan province of Mongolia, the mummified body of a monk seated in the lotus position was found. Experts believe this is the mummy of Dashi Dorjo Itagilov, a famous Buddhist monk born in 1852. What is remarkable is that this mummy has preserved its shape and posture even after about 200 years. Archaeologists discovered that the monk's body had not decomposed but was covered in a layer of cowhide. This has created a significant mystery, leading many to believe that this might be the result of a special preservation method or even a supernatural phenomenon. Another example of the miraculous preservation of a monk's body is the case of monk Fu Ho, who passed away at the age of 91 in China. Before his death, Fu Ho requested that his body be embalmed and preserved. After his passing, the monks at Puzhou Temple in Fujian Province, China, performed the embalming ritual, covering his body in charcoal and sandalwood. What is special is that Fu Ho's body remained in the meditation posture in the lotus position, and today, his body has become a revered symbol at the temple. The monks there even hold ceremonies to honor and protect his body from the ravages of time. These mummified monks are not only mysterious phenomena, but also serve as evidence of the respect and preservation of the physical bodies of Buddhist clergy. These discoveries have sparked many questions and debates about the unusual methods of body preservation, as well as the deeper meanings behind these phenomena in Buddhism. It is very likely that, in the future, further research on these mummies will help us better understand the miraculous abilities of the human body and the cultural and religious values they represent. 6-month-old baby mummy, frozen in ice. Greenland, the land of people, is an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Although geographically and ethnically, Greenland resembles an Arctic island connected to North America. Its history has strong ties to Europe. Greenland is the world's largest island, with 81% of its area covered in ice and snow. In a recent discovery, scientists accidentally unearthed an ice tomb containing the remains of an Inuit family, including 8 mummies. These ancient individuals are believed to have died around 1475 in Greenland. Astonished by this new finding, the research community has declared these mummies the best preserved ever discovered in North America. Among the 8 mummies were a 6-month-old baby, another older child, and 6 adult women. Notably, the preservation of the 6-month-old baby mummy has amazed scientists. Strange images show that parts of the body, including skin, fingernails, and hair, remain intact even after 500 years. Even tattoos on the foreheads, cheeks, and chins of all 8 mummies are still visible. After analysis, archaeologists hypothesize that the 6-month-old baby may have been buried alive with its family. Based on traditional Inuit culture, when a mother passed away, her newborn child would be buried alive beside her to avoid spiritual misfortunes. The freezing climate of Greenland is well known for its ability to preserve numerous archaeological artifacts. Excavations in the region have uncovered countless frozen mummies of both humans and animals. However, the recently discovered 6-month-old baby mummy has officially become the best-preserved mummy in North America. This mummy continues to be studied by scientists, while 4 of the other bodies are currently on display at the Greenland National Museum in Nuuk. If you have the opportunity, be sure to visit and admire them. The 7 latest archaeological discoveries in China. The unique treasure in the 2,500-year-old water tomb. In the late 1970s, Chinese archaeologists made a surprising discovery of an ancient tomb nearly 2,500 years old at the ancient city of Suichu, the homeland of the legendary Emperor Yan Di, also known as Shennong, in Hubei Province, China. That year, while the People's Liberation Army was blasting a mountain to build a barracks in the area of Luigu Wen, they unexpectedly stumbled upon signs of an ancient tomb. The color and structure of the soil were different from the surrounding areas. Experts immediately arrived at the site. The archaeological team had to move nearly 50 large stones and a thick layer of peat before they could access the tomb, which was 2,400 square feet in area, 42 feet deep, and completely submerged in water. After conducting an initial survey, the experts concluded that this was the tomb of Zhang Ho Yi, from 475 BC to 433 BC, also known as Ji Yi, the king of the Zhang state, a vassal state of the Zhou dynasty during the early Warring States period in Chinese history. This discovery quickly shocked the archaeological community and China as a whole for several reasons. First, the discovery of an emperor's tomb has immense archaeological value. Second, inside the vast and deep tomb, which is several dozen meters below the ground, numerous unparalleled ancient artifacts were found. As the tomb's owner, Zhang Ho Yi attracted great attention from the archaeological community, despite the scarce historical records about him. The small Zhang kingdom also became famous worldwide after nearly 2,500 years of being forgotten by time. It can be said that the discovery of Zhang Ho Yi's tomb is one of China's most significant archaeological finds. So, what unique treasures were hidden inside this 2,500-year-old water tomb? The first treasure is the world's heaviest 7-ton coffin, surrounded by the remains of 21 women. After draining the water from the tomb, the expert team had to work day and night to clean the interior of the tomb as it was filled with peat. Once they removed more than 68,000 pounds of peat covering the main coffin, they were faced with a 7-ton wooden coffin, exquisitely crafted and perfectly preserved after thousands of years. The individual inside was the owner of this extravagant tomb, Zhang Hao Yi, who passed away at the age of 45. To this day, this is the heaviest ancient coffin ever found in the world. Moreover, surrounding the main coffin were 21 smaller coffins, containing the remains of women aged between 13 and 24. Archaeologists speculate that these women may have been beautiful dancers who served the king during his life. After the king's death, they were likely buried with him to accompany him in the afterlife. The second treasure is what is called the orphaned treasure, a high-tech artifact that cannot be replicated. After the discovery of the 7-ton coffin, a large team of Chinese archaeologists focused on uncovering other artifacts within the tomb. After months of work, they uncovered a total of approximately 15,404 artifacts of various sizes, materials, and shapes. Among these, more than 6,200 artifacts were made of bronze. The most remarkable of these bronze artifacts is a bronze drum base, about 1.5 feet tall and weighing nearly 440 pounds. Upon seeing this treasure, modern Chinese artisans were astonished by the incredible skill of the ancient craftsmen from 2,500 years ago. The bronze drum base is an essential part of the drum, a popular instrument in the Zhang kingdom. The drum consists of 3 parts: the drum, the stand, and the base. The base was highly valued by ancient artisans for its craftsmanship. The tomb of Zhang Ho Yi also contains many dragon statues, including 16 large dragons and dozens of smaller ones. Although made of bronze, these hundreds of dragons are lifelike and exude a spiritual energy, captivating viewers. They are intricately and perfectly crafted, considered the pinnacle of ancient bronze casting artistry. What confuses experts is that they cannot determine exactly how many dragons there are, as all the dragon statues on the drum base are intertwined and climbing proudly upward. This is why the treasure is impossible to replicate. Naturally, because it cannot be copied, the drum bass from Zhang Haoyi's tomb is regarded as a unique, orphaned treasure in the world. Finally, the bronze artifact that showcases the pinnacle of ancient Chinese craftsmanship is Zhang Haoyi's bronze bell set. Experts consider this the most complete and largest bronze bell set ever discovered in China. In 2018, the CPPCC Museum of Culture and History published an article by the director of the Hubei Archaeological Association, commemorating the 40th anniversary of the discovery of this shocking tomb complex. The article described the discovery of the rare bronze bell set, which was placed in the western part of the tomb's central chamber. The bell set is divided into 3 tiers: upper, middle, and lower. The upper tier consists of 3 holders, each holding a small bell, totaling 19 bells. The middle tier is supported by 3 bronze warriors, with 33 medium-sized bells. What is even rarer is that the 13 large bells in the lower tier remain suspended on the bell frame, supported by another 3 bronze warriors. The hardest to move bells are the large ones in the lower tier, most of which weigh over 220 pounds, with some over 440 pounds and reaching a height of 5 feet. The size alone is enough to astonish many. The entire bell frame weighs over 5,500 pounds and has stood firm for nearly 2,500 years, thanks to the ancient jointing techniques. The detailed inscriptions and carvings on the bells also showcase the artisan's incredible skill. The sound of the bells, both deep and resonant, is also impossible to replicate. Therefore, this bronze bell set is considered the peak of Warring States period bronze musical instruments and is classified as a national treasure in China. The 148 ancient tombs beneath a zoo. Over the course of several decades, the archaeological team discovered around 500 ancient tombs in the area. In early 2024, the Cultural Heritage and Archaeology Institute in Guangzhou conducted another round of excavations. As of now, 148 ancient tombs from the Han, Tang, Jin, Southern Song, and Ming dynasties have been found. Alongside these tombs, the experts also unearthed nearly 200 artifacts, ranging from exquisite jade carvings to intricately designed ceramics. These discoveries have provided the public with valuable insights into ancient burial customs. The artifacts and tombs span 20,100 years of Chinese history, offering researchers a rare opportunity to explore the development of burial practices in the region. From April to July 2024, the archaeological team from the Cultural Heritage and Archaeology Institute of Guangzhou excavated nearly 150 tombs spread across an area of 14,000 square feet at a zoo in Guangdong Province. The oldest tomb dates back to the Han Dynasty, 206 BC to 220 AD. There are 8 tombs from the Jin Dynasty, 265 to 589 AD, 15 tombs from the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 AD, and 121 tombs from the Ming and Qing dynasties. Additionally, 48 other ancient tombs were also discovered. 2 tombs in particular have drawn the attention of experts. One, from the Eastern Jin Dynasty, is a well-designed tomb more than 1,700 years old, nearly 33 feet long and almost perfectly preserved. The tomb has a small hole on top, created by tomb robbers, but no significant damage was done to the interior. This tomb is considered the largest and best preserved from the Eastern Jin Dynasty ever found in Guangzhou. The second notable tomb, from the Southern Dynasty's period, is smaller in size and had been previously discovered by tomb robbers, but its contents were still well preserved. The discovery of these ancient tombs holds great significance for the study of burial customs and funeral rites in Guangzhou. Moreover, this discovery plays a crucial role in understanding the architecture and construction techniques of the Jin and Southern dynasties, said experts. Researchers hope that through further analysis, they can draw conclusions about the burial practices and customs in China over thousands of years. This will provide the public with a clearer understanding of how burial trends evolved across different dynasties in China. According to experts, the excavation of these ancient tombs is not just confined to academic circles. The Guangzhou Cultural Heritage and Archaeology Institute has developed tours for visitors to experience and learn about the different dynasties. The archaeological team stated that they will continue their research to gain more insight into how ancient Chinese burial traditions and the social structure of these evolving societies were shaped. Mysterious artifact in a 5,000-year-old tomb. In October 2024, researchers in China discovered a jade dragon inside a 5,000-year-old tomb. The artifact, which is 6.2 inches long and 3.7 inches wide, was found inside a round tomb with a square altar to the south. Human remains were also discovered in the tomb, along with a large collection of pottery, including cups, bowls, and tripod-shaped vessels. The tomb is located in the city of Chaifeng in the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region of China, dating back to between 5,000 and 5,100 years ago, from the period when the Hongshan culture flourished in the region. The people of this Neolithic culture practiced agriculture, built large towns with large buildings, and created complex artifacts. For Chinese researchers in general, this new discovery is considered the largest example of a jade dragon created by the Hongshan culture ever found. However, for Gideon Shelok-Lavi, a professor of East Asian Studies at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, he believes that while the discovery is impressive, it is not unique. He notes that similarly sized jade dragon artifacts have been discovered in other Hongshan culture tombs in the past. Researchers are not certain whether the newly found jade dragon or the previously discovered ones actually depict a dragon. Shelok-Lavi also added, "We don't really know their meaning in the Neolithic period, so calling them dragons is outdated. The site where the artifacts and human remains were found is not just a tomb, but also a ritual structure." Similar structures have been discovered in previous excavations at another site called Neolithic. So what exactly is this mysterious artifact in the ancient tomb? To date, Live Science has attempted to contact the archaeologists involved in the recent discovery in Chaifeng, but has not received a response at the time of publication, keeping it a mystery that continues to intrigue everyone. On 500-year-old ancient temple, full of treasures. Recently, an important archaeological discovery in Datong City, Shanxi Province, China, has caught the attention of scholars and history enthusiasts. According to reports from Heritage Daily and Xinhua News Agency, archaeologists successfully excavated an ancient temple from the Northern Wei Dynasty, 386 to 535 AD, which contains numerous treasures and valuable archaeological artifacts. The temple, located in the Pingcheng district of the city, is likely connected to a nearby royal palace, reflecting the prosperity and luxury of an important historical period. Datong, founded during the Han Dynasty in 200 BC, only truly became a cultural and political center when it became the capital of the Northern Wei Dynasty. This period witnessed the unification of northern China and the end of the chaotic 16 Kingdoms period. Like many other relics from this era, the ancient temple reflects the splendor and opulence of the ancient capital. The temple was built on a square plot of land, a style typical of the Sui and Tang dynasties in China. During the excavation of the temple's foundation, archaeologists were surprised to find more than 200 well-preserved Buddhist statues. These priceless artifacts, at least 1,500 years old, hold significant historical, religious, and craftsmanship value. Some of the statues were even decorated with gold leaf, creating a sparkling beauty that captivates anyone who sees them. The most remarkable discovery during the excavation was a square pit in the center of the temple's foundation, filled with pearls, copper rings, and coral jewelry. These valuable treasures are currently under extensive study by archaeologists. Additionally, traces of colorful murals were found on the remaining walls and ceilings, offering a fresh perspective on Buddhist art during the Northern Wei period. Li Shuyun, a researcher at the Shanxi Provincial Archaeological Institute, stated that this discovery not only provides deep insights into the architecture of Buddhist temples during the Northern Wei period, but also sheds light on the development of Buddhism in the region. This is one of the best-preserved ancient temples in the area, opening a new door for the study and exploration of Chinese history. 3,000-year-old ancient village in northern China. In 2023, Chinese archaeologists made a groundbreaking discovery when they uncovered the remains of a village that is over 3,000 years old in Hebei Province, northern China. The village, located in what is now Zhaoyao Village in Wuhan City, covers an area of approximately 2.7 million square feet and was built during the Shang Dynasty, 1600 to 1046 BC. This discovery not only provides a new perspective on life and social organization during this period, but also unveils mysteries surrounding construction techniques and the culture of the ancient people. At the Jiaoyao archaeological site, archaeologists found significant remnants such as transportation systems, moats, tunnels, water pipes, kilns, and rows of houses. Notably, within each house, the researchers discovered an intricate heating system, believed to be the precursor to the traditional brick stove beds used by the Chinese, which helped keep the body warm during cold days. This discovery not only showcases the ingenuity in building and organizing homes, but also reflects how people of that time adapted to the harsh climate of northern China. In addition, the artifacts unearthed from the village are diverse, including pottery, carved bone hairpins, and tortoise shells used for divination. These items are not only valuable from an archaeological standpoint, but also provide researchers with deeper insights into the culture and beliefs of the Shang dynasty. At the time, Wei Shuguang, the head of research on the Shang and Zhou dynasties at the Hebei Provincial Institute of Archaeology and Cultural Relics, suggested that this village may have been the capital of a tribe or kingdom during that era. Therefore, this discovery is sure to provide an opportunity to better understand environmental changes and heating methods, as well as offer valuable data for the study of ancient Chinese civilizations. Skeletons in ancient tombs move archaeologists to tears. Over 4,000 years ago, Qinghai Province, China, experienced a catastrophic earthquake. Without warning, a deafening sound echoed. The sky and earth changed color, and landslides and fissures occurred, causing buildings to collapse. At the time, many people perished before they had a chance to react, while the survivors cried out in despair, with all the sounds blending together like the apocalypse. Eventually, after the intense tremors, only dust remained. In 1999, the remains of this earthquake were accidentally discovered, and the site quickly caught the attention of the Chinese archaeological community. An archaeological team was promptly formed and sent to excavate. When the site was opened, it was discovered to be the lost Lajia site, which had disappeared in the earthquake over 4,000 years ago. Simultaneously, the bond between a mother and child that had endured for 4,000 years came into view for future generations. According to data, the total area of this massive site is 4.3 million square feet, with the core area covering up to 2.2 million square feet. Archaeologists discovered a total of 14 human skeletons in house number 4. Remarkably, most of these skeletons were those of children, with the youngest being only 2 years old. Clearly, before the earthquake, they had gathered together unprepared and were likely enjoying their time together. The sudden earthquake took their lives in an instant. The postures exhibited by these skeletons show some crouching on the ground, others lying sideways with limbs curled. The most striking find was a skeleton holding a child in an attempt to shield them. Upon seeing the skeleton, all the archaeologists present were moved to tears. Later, after a rigorous DNA test conducted by experts, it was confirmed that the 14 skeletons were closely related. The glowing national treasure in the dark tomb. Located north of the Lac River, Zito is a small farming village in Yanxi City, China, with a long tradition of wheat and rice cultivation. Despite its sparse population and many infrastructure shortages, life here has always been peaceful. In the summer of 1959, a famous archaeologist named Tu Husheng, during an archaeological project, unexpectedly discovered that the small village of Zito still retained many untapped historical ruins. Since then, Zito became a fascinating destination in China's archaeological boom and was listed as a National Key Cultural Heritage Site. Over more than 50 years of excavation, Chinese archaeology has made significant achievements. Based on research results, archaeologists named the site the Zito Archaeological Site. Spanning an area of nearly 32.3 million square feet, the site is divided into a central area and a regular activity zone, featuring its own road system and several architectural structures. Numerous artifacts have also been unearthed, revealing secrets about the millennia-old history of ancient China. Notably, from 2001 to 2016, a comprehensive research project on the origins and early development of Chinese civilization led to the discovery of a national treasure in a 4,000-year-old tomb at the Zito site. This discovery reignited excitement in the archaeological community. The 4,000-year-old tomb, with its unique design and many artifacts, prove that its owner was a person of high social status in ancient times. However, due to the late discovery in 1959, many details of the tomb were no longer intact, and several areas showed signs of damage. Only one object, a greenish artifact, appeared to be nearly untouched and emitted a faint glow in the dark tomb. This national treasure is actually a dragon statue, approximately 25.6 inches long, made from over 2,000 small pieces of jade, each in different shapes. The smallest pieces measure only 0.08 inches in diameter and 0.04 inches in thickness. The dragon's body, vibrant in color, stretches across the ground with its tail coiled. The dragon's head is elongated with a pair of round eyes made of sparkling jade and a crescent-shaped nose bridge with alternating white and green hues. The tip of its nose resembles a garlic bulb, carved from jade. The craftsmanship of the artifact demonstrates exquisite detail, proving the skill of ancient artisans. Through research, scientists confirmed that this is the oldest dragon-shaped artifact ever discovered in China and is considered an unparalleled national treasure. A 2,000-year-old horse skeleton, recently discovered in France, shocks archaeologists. The 2,000-year-old horse tomb. In May 2024, French archaeologists discovered an incredibly unique horse tomb in central France. What makes this tomb so special is the mystery surrounding the fate of the horses that had passed away. Were they victims of brutal warfare, or were they part of a special religious ritual? The answer is still being sought by scientists. Specifically, at this archaeological site, experts uncovered the remains of 28 horses. Interestingly, all of them were of the same breed, around 6 years old, and were buried immediately after death. These horses were placed in separate burial pits, lying on their right side, with their heads facing south, a very unique arrangement. Additionally, near the horse tomb, archaeologists discovered another grave containing the remains of 2 dogs, with their heads facing west. This image raises many questions. Could this be a sign of a religious ritual or part of a larger event, like a bloody war? According to experts from the National Institute of Preventive Archaeological Research of France, carbon dating shows that this tomb dates back to the Gallic Wars period, an important phase in the Roman conquest of Gaul, which lasted from 58 BC to 50 BC. The horse tomb is estimated to be from around 100 BC to 100 AD, a period full of turmoil. What is particularly remarkable about this tomb is that only adult male horses were buried, which makes the hypothesis of an animal disease less likely. However, scientists have not ruled out this possibility and are continuing their research, thoroughly examining the remains to look for signs of parasites or other evidence that could explain the horses' deaths. Caves with mysterious paintings. One of the most impressive archaeological discoveries has recently been made in the Grotte de Cussac cave, Dordogne, in southwestern France. This region is famous for its prehistoric cave paintings, such as the well-known paintings at Lascaux. However, the unique feature of this cave is the presence of animal and human engravings, along with human burial sites dating back over 25,000 years. The Grotte de Cussac cave, located in one of Europe's most important archaeological areas, contains more than 800 unique engravings. These engravings are believed to have been created between 25,000 and 30,000 years ago, raising fascinating questions about the beliefs, customs, and lives of people from that period. Led by Professor Jacques Joubert from the University of Bordeaux, the international research team has spent over a decade exploring this cave. One of the most startling discoveries was the presence of the remains of at least 6 individuals, all dating from 25,000 to 30,000 years ago. These are extremely rare remains of ancient burial rituals, and more importantly, they were buried in a cave containing artworks, a feature seldom recorded in archaeology. However, Dr. Alain Schatzmans, a research member at the University of Wollongong and University of Bordeaux, said that, in addition to the usual challenges associated with reconstructing ancient history from archaeological remains, the Grotte de Cussac project presented additional obstacles. Apart from the typical challenges, such as the restoration of ancient relics, the research team faced major difficulties as they were not allowed to excavate and had to conduct all studies directly within the cave. The cave is classified as a National Heritage Site, meaning nothing inside could be moved or altered. Furthermore, The carbon dioxide levels inside the cave are very high at certain times of the year, limiting the researchers to working there for only 3 months each year. What concerned the scientists the most was the potential contamination by microorganisms from the outside. Any foreign agent, even the smallest, could affect the preservation of these ancient relics, including the cave surfaces and engravings. Therefore, archaeologists had to wear sterilized protective clothing and rubber boots to protect this nearly intact space. Another fascinating discovery was the arrangement of the human remains. The bodies were deliberately moved and placed at 3 different locations within the cave, indicating the existence of a complex funeral ritual, most likely connected to the beliefs of that time. The community inhabiting the cave performed special rituals, showing respect and a close relationship between the living and the dead. The research team's goal in the coming years is to continue studying the deaths and burial rituals of ancient humans. They hope to reconstruct a clearer picture of how ancient people faced death, thereby uncovering more of their deep beliefs and faith. Neolithic Village. At the vast Marais de Saint-Gond archaeological site, dating back to the Neolithic period in northeastern France, archaeologists have recently discovered traces of a long-term settlement, providing rare insights into the social organization of the area, 150 years after the first flintstones were discovered. The village was found when archaeologists uncovered a ditch used for installing a fence at the Val des Marais commune, about 85 miles from Paris. According to expert assessments, this prehistoric structure surrounded a hill, covering an estimated area of 2.5 acres. During the archaeological work, a building with an apse-style vaulted roof was cleared. This building was located near a large trash pit, approximately 66 feet in diameter, and several wells. Rémy Martineau, a researcher at the French National Center for Scientific Research, who along with his team discovered the village this summer, emphasized that this was the missing piece the research team had been seeking. Martineau explained that this new discovery marks a significant milestone, providing insights into the economic, social, and territorial organization of the Neolithic period. He stressed that the site had a complete structure, and social foundations seemed to have existed at that time. Particularly at Marais de Saint-Gond, archaeologists have identified 15 large flint mines covering an area of 1,112 acres and 135 underground tunnels. 5 cul-de-sacs were surrounded by standing stones, 10 polishing tools for axes, and fields burned with controlled straw burning, all identified since flint was first discovered a century and a half ago. In addition, the team uncovered a small oval object made of mother-of-pearl, with 2 holes drilled in it, possibly a precursor to a button, dating back around 3,300 to 3,400 years. These consecutive discoveries are the result of a research program led by the CNRS, initiated 20 years ago. Ancient tomb from the 14th century. Beneath Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris. On March 14, 2022, the French Ministry of Culture announced an incredibly important archaeological discovery beneath the Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris, one of the most iconic landmarks of the capital. During excavation work for the restoration of the cathedral's bell tower, archaeologists uncovered a remarkable tomb containing a lead coffin in the shape of a human figure, astonishingly well preserved. Interestingly, this coffin may be the burial site of a prominent figure from ancient times, dating back to around the year 1300 AD, shortly after the construction of the Notre-Dame Cathedral. This is an extremely rare and significant discovery, raising questions about the cathedral's history as well as the secrets buried for centuries beneath this ancient structure. Furthermore, the excavation also revealed parts of a painted sculpture believed to have originated from the 13th century. Fragments of this sculpture were previously found during restoration work in the mid-19th century and are now on display at the Louvre Museum. The combination of architecture, art, and history in these findings further enriches the value of Notre-Dame Cathedral. However, we cannot overlook the devastating fire on April 15, 2019, when the fierce blaze destroyed much of the cathedral, melting 660 tons of lead from the roof and causing severe air pollution in Paris. Nevertheless, the French government is urgently working to restore this iconic structure so that Notre-Dame Cathedral can once again rise, preserving and continuing to tell the mysterious stories of the past. The recent discovery beneath the cathedral is not just an archaeological piece of evidence, but also a doorway into the colorful and mysterious past of Paris. These relics are sure to continue attracting the attention of researchers and the public for years to come. Hybrid infant remains with another species. A surprising discovery has attracted the attention of the scientific community, as a fragment of an infant's remains was found in a cave 125 miles from Paris. What is surprising is that the bone fragment does not fully resemble modern humans, nor is it from ancient Neanderthals, raising many unanswered questions. This discovery not only sheds light on part of the mystery of human history, but could also change the way we perceive the relationship between Homo sapiens and ancient humans. The bone fragment was discovered in the Grotte du Renne cave, located in Arcy-sur-Cure, about 125 miles southeast of Paris. This cave is in the Châtel-Perronien region, where Neanderthals lived around 4,500 to 41,000 years ago. This area is particularly important in the study of ancient humans because evidence of Neanderthal life has been found here. However, the bone fragment discovered has caused considerable confusion. Although it shares some features with Neanderthals, experts have confirmed that it is not from a Neanderthal. Notably, this bone fragment exhibits characteristics similar to those of modern humans, though with some minor differences. The research team, led by paleoanthropologist Bruno Morel from the University of Bordeaux and the French National Center for Scientific Research, concluded that this bone fragment could belong to a lineage of modern humans, but with some traits not entirely modern. Experts suggest that this infant may belong to an early lineage of Homo sapiens, retaining some characteristics from the early stages of human evolution. This discovery raises an intriguing hypothesis. It is possible that modern Homo sapiens and Neanderthals lived in the same region, even sharing a culture and survival techniques. Some researchers further speculate that this infant may have been a hybrid between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, with predominantly Homo sapiens traits. In fact, interbreeding between human species was common in the past. For example, people in some northern European regions today may carry up to 2% Neanderthal DNA, while many Asians still preserve traits from Denisovans, another branch of ancient humans. This discovery has shaken the scientific community and raises major questions about how Homo sapiens may have survived and evolved in a world dominated by Neanderthals. The idea that these two species coexisted and may have shared cultural values and survival techniques is a topic that scientists are now studying more deeply. Furthermore, this discovery also contributes to answering one of the biggest questions in human history. Why did Neanderthals go extinct, while Homo sapiens survived and thrived as we do today? The remains of the infant in the Châtel-Perronien region are not only a key piece of the puzzle of the past, but also a significant step toward understanding the interaction between modern humans and Neanderthals. This discovery will undoubtedly lead to more research and debates about how ancient human species once coexisted and interacted with each other. The 27 skeletons in the house of the French doctor. Marcel-André Henri Félix Petiot, also known as Dr. Satan, is one of the most infamous and haunting criminals in French history. Born on January 17, 1897, in a small town in France, Petiot had a troubled childhood. Diagnosed early with mental illness and antisocial behavior, Petiot faced significant challenges growing up. However, few could have imagined that someone who struggled academically would go on to become a doctor and later a brutal serial killer. Petiot began his path by joining the French army during World War I, where he was involved in many suspicious events. Wounded in the war, Petiot was treated but was later accused of stealing medicine and medical equipment. After the war, he continued to pursue medicine, but his life gradually spiraled into darker activities. In 1926, after the sudden disappearance of a patient's daughter, the police suspected Petiot but were unable to prove his involvement. This was just the beginning of the series of crimes Petiot would commit in the years that followed. Dr. Petiot became well known in the medical community, but there were rumors about his illegal activities, including providing narcotics and performing illegal abortions. However, it was during World War II that Petiot committed crimes no one could have anticipated. Taking advantage of the chaos and threats during the German occupation, Petiot built a false reputation as a person who helped people escape, particularly Jews and anti-Nazi activists. Using a sophisticated scam, Petiot demanded large sums of money from these individuals in exchange for helping them escape to safer countries. However, instead of helping them escape, Petiot injected cyanide into their bodies, stole all their valuables, and discarded their bodies. Petiot's criminal activities began to come to light when neighbors reported strange odors and smoke rising from his house. When the police investigated, they uncovered a chilling treasure: numerous skeletons, victim belongings, and other horrifying evidence. Even more terrifying, Petiot showed no remorse. After Paris was liberated, Petiot escaped and even participated in a manhunt for himself under a new alias. However, this cunning fox could not escape justice for long. Petiot was arrested in 1946 and put on trial, charged with the murders of at least 27 people. Throughout the trial, Petiot admitted to killing 19 of his victims. As a result, in May 1946, Dr. Satan, Marcel Petiot, was sentenced to death by guillotine, ending one of the most brutal and horrifying crime sprees in French criminal history. The story of Marcel Petiot is not only a lesson in deception and crime, but also a reminder of how one person can deceive and take the lives of dozens of others, driven by greed and ruthlessness. Ancient Etruscan tomb on the island of Corsica. Recently, the French National Institute for Preventive Archaeological Research, INRAP, announced a highly significant archaeological discovery in the town of Aleria, located in the northern part of Corsica, where researchers unearthed an Etruscan tomb dating back over 2,300 years. This tomb is believed to belong to a wealthy Etruscan family who lived on the island of Corsica between 300 and 400 BC. Although the tomb's ceiling had collapsed over time, the remains inside were remarkably intact, along with priceless items such as jewelry, weapons, and ritual objects. According to Laurent Vidal, the lead archaeologist for the Aleria excavations, the excavation was conducted with advanced techniques that allowed the team to conduct a deeper study into the lives of the ancient Etruscans. Thanks to these modern methods, we now have a better understanding of Etruscan social organization, religious beliefs, and trade relationships, topics that have remained mysterious to historians for centuries. The Etruscans, who existed before the Roman civilization, remain one of Europe's most enigmatic peoples. The Etruscan civilization reached its peak between the 8th and 1st centuries BC and significantly influenced the formation of the Roman Empire. Originating from Tuscany and Umbria in Italy, the Etruscans built prosperous cities and expanded their influence across the Mediterranean, establishing trade and cultural ties with many other civilizations. Aleria, where the tomb was discovered, was once a major trade center along the Tyrrhenian Sea. Around 540 BC, the Etruscans conquered the area from the Phocaeans and transformed Aleria into a bustling commercial hub. However, in 259 BC, Aleria was taken by the Romans and became part of the Roman Empire. Therefore, this discovery is not only an important archaeological find, but also an opportunity to reassess the greatness and mystery of the Etruscan civilization, which had a profound impact on European history but is still not fully explored. The study of artifacts, skeletal remains, and ritual objects in the tomb will certainly help scientists continue to expand our knowledge of a civilization that played a significant role in shaping what we know about European history today. 600-year-old castle buried beneath a hotel foundation. A medieval castle has been unexpectedly uncovered in the city of Vannes, located in the northwest of France. The ruins of this castle are situated directly beneath the foundation of Château Lagorce, a private villa built in the 18th century that is now a hotel. The most remarkable aspect of this discovery is how completely unexpected it was, as the scientists were conducting ground tests at the hotel site prior to its renovation for the construction of an art museum. Vannes, a city with a rich historical background, was once the center of an important medieval duchy called Bro-Wened, or Bro-Ereg, meaning Vannes, or Land of Guereg. Therefore, the discovery of an ancient castle here did not surprise archaeologists. However, the surprise came from the method of discovery when excavations revealed layers of history beneath the surface. In the first phase of excavation, researchers focused on the hotel's courtyard, and what they uncovered astonished everyone. 2 layers of the castle's defensive walls and a moat located 13 feet, about 4 meters, below the street level. These traces proved that an ancient castle, dating back to the 14th century, had been built by Jean IV, the Duke of Brittany, to assert his central power over the duchy and the town of Vannes. This ancient castle, known as Château de l'Hermine, is more than 600 years old and was constructed in the late 14th century. According to the French National Institute for Preventive Archaeological Research, the remnants of the castle suggest it had 3 to 4 stories, with some staircases remarkably well preserved. Additionally, marks on the cut stones indicate decorative works and ancillary structures, such as toilets and drainage pipes. In addition to the architectural structures, the research team also discovered many valuable artifacts that help recreate the lives of the castle's inhabitants in the 15th and 16th centuries. These items include coins, knives, tiles, wooden bowls, kitchen utensils, and some jewelry. Notably, due to favorable soil conditions, many objects like clothing, shoe buckles, pins, rings, and locks have been preserved in relatively good condition. Even more fascinating, the excavations uncovered a workshop connected to the living quarters of the castle. A large water well, fed by a channel, along with the remains of a bridge that connected the castle to the rest of the old town, were also found. These discoveries provide further insight into the living conditions and social organization of medieval society in Van. The 6 most mysterious archaeological discoveries on Earth that challenge scientists' understanding. Mysterious skull in the wych elm tree. Countless paintings, photos, books, and even songs have been inspired by the legendary case "Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm?" However, the identity of the victim remains shrouded in mystery to this day. "Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm?" is the title of a song played by Gravenhurst, a British artist. The song is quite striking with its eerie, mournful rhythm but isn't very famous. However, the name "Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm?" is one of the most infamous murder cases in Birmingham's history, a case that has perplexed the local community and the police for over 82 years, as they've been unable to uncover the victim's identity. It all started in 1943 when a boy named Bob Farmer and a few friends climbed an ancient ash tree on the former land of Lord Cobham. At the time, the children had no idea that they were about to ignite a mystery that would last for decades. Inside the dead, decaying tree, the children found a human skull, with only a few teeth and clumps of hair remaining. Terrified, they decided to place the found object back in its original position and never speak of it again. But one boy, Tommy Whitels, couldn't handle the pressure and told his parents. The police quickly became involved and discovered the rest of the body, now just white bones covered by torn pieces of clothing. One hand still wore a gold wedding ring, while the other hand was missing. Everything was scattered inside the rotting ash tree. The woman was estimated to be about 35 years old and had given birth at least once. Investigators believed she had died from asphyxiation and had been inside the tree for at least a year. What sent chills down many spines was the theory that she had been placed alive in the tree and later suffocated. The victim's right hand was later found nearby, and a piece of taffeta fabric was discovered in her mouth. Other than these clues, nothing else was known about the victim, not even her name. That Christmas, the people of Birmingham were unnerved when chalk messages began appearing on the streets reading, "Who put Bella in the wych elm?" sounding like a gloomy question or an interrogation. Similar messages began to appear all over town, and the police remained silent while quietly continuing their investigation. Many speculated that the person who wrote the messages knew the identity of the victim. This is when the corpse in the tree was given the name Bella, leading to connections with a woman named Bella, who had been a prostitute in Birmingham and had disappeared in 1941. The timing of Bella's disappearance coincided with the estimated age of the corpse. But due to the lack of further evidence, the local police couldn't determine whether the missing woman from 1941 was indeed the same Bella in the wych elm. In 1953, the small town was shaken once again. 10 years after the discovery of Bella in the wych elm, a woman named Una Mossop claimed that her cousin, Jack Mossop, along with a Dutch man named Van Ralt, had placed a woman in the tree while they were drunk. However, this story was quickly dismissed, as Jack Mossop was a mental patient and had died several years before Una's statement. The wych elm murder case then became a local mystery, complete with all the elements of a horror story. A desolate land still somewhat backed by a mountain, a body lying quietly inside the ash tree for 18 months, a missing hand, and mysterious cult-like rituals. Many even speculated that Bella was Clara Bauerle, a Nazi spy who had disappeared in the UK during the darkest days of the war. Then, in 2016, the phrase "Who put Bella in the wych elm?" resurfaced once again, haunting the local people of Birmingham. This mystery, now 82 years old, has outlived Bella's possible life expectancy if she had not died that day. Although the case has mostly reached a dead end, many still hope that the identity of Bella in the Witch Elm will be uncovered to bring some peace to the soul of the unknown woman. The Mural of Stars and Mysterious Human Races. The Himalayan range, famous for its majestic peaks, holds many unsolved mysteries. Rising to 19,685 feet and containing 40 peaks, with Mount Everest towering at 29,031 feet as the highest peak in the world, it was formed through the collision of geological layers. Within this enigmatic mountain range, there is a mural that is even more astonishing. It appears to depict a battle between extraterrestrials and barbaric beings, leaving many scientists to wonder what secrets this place may be hiding. This discovery began with an unexpected accident involving a scientific expedition. Due to bad weather and harsh conditions, the expedition team had to seek shelter. Inside a cave deep within the Himalayas, they discovered ancient rudimentary wall paintings that were incredibly strange. The murals depict a battle between human-like creatures and massive beings, standing as tall as 13 feet, which may not be human, as their height far exceeds the average height of humans. Some theories suggest that the giant beings in the paintings could be extraterrestrials, with superior height and strength compared to humans. Even bolder theories propose that the ancestors of humans might have been these creatures, with extraterrestrials coming to Earth, and after millions of years of interbreeding, Homo sapiens emerged. Although this theory sounds hard to believe, it echoes many ancient legends. For example, the Maya civilization, which flourished over 5,000 years ago in southern Mexico and northern Central America and was renowned for its advanced astronomical achievements, left behind images of astronauts carrying rockets with landing equipment for the moon. This has raised suspicions that the Maya may have communicated with extraterrestrial beings or even returned to space. Although none of these speculations can be conclusively proven, they offer us a new perspective on human history. Through long-term geological processes, the Himalayas might have once been a meeting point between extraterrestrial life and life on Earth. Regardless of what form these extraterrestrial beings may have taken, they may have left behind many unexplainable traces from that distant era. The Himalayas are considered a place where extraterrestrial life and life on Earth intersect, possibly due to its unique geographic location and harsh environment. Situated on the southern edge of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, the Himalayas is the highest mountain range in the world, with a harsh climate and constantly changing complex terrain. In this vast land, countless secrets remain hidden, waiting for humans to uncover, and of course, the murals in the Himalayas are just one of these mysteries. The mural, with its simple yet mysterious style, has attracted the attention of explorers and researchers worldwide. The scenes depicted in the mural seem to show a clash between extraterrestrials and ancient humans. The height, strength, and technological advancements of the extraterrestrials in the murals far exceed anything previously discovered on Earth. However, as described in ancient legends, these extraterrestrials did not remain on Earth for long and eventually left, leaving behind an unexplainable history. This is why the murals in the Himalayas raise an important question for humanity. Has our planet ever truly communicated with extraterrestrial life? To date, there has been no convincing evidence to answer this question, but this has not stopped humanity from continuing to explore and seek answers. The 140-million-year-old iron hammer. Perhaps few of you would guess that this seemingly ordinary hammer has become one of the most intriguing discoveries in the scientific world, right? It was discovered in June 1934 at a limestone quarry near the town of London in Texas. The hammer's metal part is about 6 inches long and has a diameter of approximately 3 inches. It was found embedded in limestone that is 140 million years old, along with other fragments of rock. This discovery led the scientific community to question, how could a metal tool exist within such an ancient layer of limestone? The hammer was discovered by the couple Emma Zadie Hahn and Max Edmund Hahn. Initially, they didn't think it was an important find. However, once discovered, the hammer quickly attracted significant attention from scientists and was sent for analysis. The initial tests concluded that this was just a hoax. However, further research, along with thorough academic investigations, revealed that the situation was more complicated than it seemed. This was not a prank, but a real mystery. The first thing that baffled scientists was the wooden handle of the hammer. After millions of years submerged in limestone, the wooden handle had fossilized, while the inside had turned to coal. This is an extremely rare natural phenomenon, because under normal conditions, wood would decompose quickly after exposure to such harsh environments. The second astonishing finding was the chemical composition of the metal part of the hammer. According to research from the Metallurgical Institute in Columbus, Ohio, the metal was primarily composed of 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, and 0.74% sulfur. Notably, there were no other impurities, which was surprising because pure iron had never been discovered in the history of metals on Earth. Moreover, common metals used in the steel industry, such as manganese, cobalt, nickel, tungsten, vanadium, or molybdenum, were absent from the hammer. The chlorine content in the metal was also unusually high, while no traces of carbon, a common component of natural iron ore, were found. Overall, based on modern observations, the iron in the hammer would not be considered high quality. But what stands out is that the iron in this hammer has not rusted or shown any signs of corrosion, despite being buried in limestone for millions of years. Dr. K.E. Baffa, director of the Mineral Antiquities Museum, where the hammer is held, estimates that this tool may have been created between 140 million and 65 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. Meanwhile, humans could only produce similar metal tools around 10,000 years ago, making the existence of this hammer even more difficult to explain. Finally, after hundreds of analyses and studies, Dr. Hans Joachim Zillmer from Germany concluded that this hammer may have been made by a civilization with technology far beyond our current understanding. The technology used to create the hammer could be an undiscovered mystery, leading experts to question possibilities that humanity has never known in ancient history. 3,500-year-old dinosaur horn. In May 2012, a fossilized horn from a three-horned dinosaur, the Triceratops, was discovered in Dawson County, Montana. Notably, after analyzing the carbon age inside the horn, researchers found that this fossil specimen was nearly 34,000 years old, specifically 33,500 years. This evidence challenged the view that all dinosaurs went extinct around 65 million years ago. The timing of this discovery is also significant, as it coincides with the appearance of humans, who were forming tribal civilizations across the world about 34,000 years ago. This discovery raises the question, could humans have encountered or even lived alongside these giant reptiles? It is known that the carbon-14 dating technique has been widely applied in archaeology. However, older generations of archaeologists never thought to use carbon-14 technology to redate dinosaur fossils discovered earlier. The primary reason for this was the clear assumption that dinosaurs had been extinct for tens of millions of years, while carbon-14 dating is only reliable for fossils up to 55,000 years old. However, in this recent study, researchers from the field of anomalous science, with new evidence, declared, by carefully analyzing and applying new technologies to valuable fossil evidence, they believe that some dinosaurs survived the disaster 65 million years ago and may have even maintained their species until about 23,000 years ago. The Triceratops, one of the most famous dinosaurs, is a genus of herbivorous ceratopsid that first appeared in the late Cretaceous period. It was believed to have gone extinct during the Cretaceous extinction event 66 million years ago. Several carbon-14 tests have gradually been applied to other dinosaur fossils. Surprisingly, many of these tests have yielded results with ages in the range of thousands of years, rather than millions of years as previously thought. After classification, the fossils typically date back between 23,000 and 39,000 years ago. The idea that dinosaurs went extinct tens of millions of years ago was promoted by paleontologists and geologists. These scientists were firm in their beliefs, yet they have yet to explain some strange details found in ancient artworks. About 6,000 years ago, the people of India constructed the Vitala temple, which contains numerous sculptures depicting living creatures on stone. Notably, visitors to the temple may discover two creatures that closely resemble dinosaurs. While the creature resembling the Brontosaurus has sparked debate over its camel-like appearance, the other clearly resembles the Stegosaurus, a dinosaur from the Cretaceous period. In a similar time frame, the stone tapestry mural at the Church of de Blois depicted two creatures with a striking resemblance to the Spinnerhynus, a duck-billed dinosaur. The most abundant examples come from the ancient Acambaro people's sculptural collection. Among these ancient statues, there are numerous depictions of dinosaurs, including scenes of warriors riding them or playing with baby dinosaurs. Even older still, The Triceratops appears frequently in cave paintings across all 4 continents: Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas. The images of dinosaurs in ancient art around the world match the modern reconstructions of dinosaurs made with today's technology. Moreover, scientists believe that ancient humans lacked the knowledge and technology to fully understand and reconstruct complete dinosaur skeletons from fossil fragments. Therefore, it's difficult to imagine how ancient people could have comprehended the detailed appearance of dinosaurs unless they had actually seen them in person. The mysterious stone in Lake Winnipesaukee. In 1872, while a group of workers were digging near Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire, they unexpectedly discovered a strange object while digging post holes. The object was an egg-shaped stone encased in a block of clay. From that moment, this stone has puzzled the scientific community for many years. The peculiar stone quickly attracted the attention of Seneca A. Ladd, a local businessman who had hired the workers to dig the fence. He became the owner of the stone and brought it into the scientific debate. Of course, what made the stone so intriguing wasn't just its unusual shape, but also the strange patterns carved on its surface, images never before discovered anywhere in the US. Moreover, the type of stone that made up the object was not common in New Hampshire. Because of this, scientists named it New England's Mystery Stone. The stone measures approximately 4 inches in length, 2.5 inches in thickness, weighs 1.1 pounds, and is jet black. Interestingly, both ends of the stone have holes drilled straight through, which further increased its mystery. Upon analysis, the stone was determined to be made of sandstone or mylonite, a fine-grained rock formed by the movement of rock layers along fault lines. The surface of the stone is carved with many strange symbols, including astronomical patterns, a human face, an upside-down arrow, the moon, a spiral, and even a tent. Notably, one side of the stone depicts an ear of corn with 17 kernels arranged in a row, and beneath that, there's a circle with 3 different symbols, such as a deer's foot or an animal with large ears. The face is carved with a slight depression, and the nose does not protrude above the surface of the egg shape. The lips of the face appear to be intentionally carved with a particular expression. Later, the American Naturalist magazine approached Seneca A. Ladd to write an article about this strange stone. The magazine described the artifact as a unique relic of the Native American people. The stone remained in Ladd's family until his death in 1892. His daughter donated the stone to the New Hampshire Historical Society for study. However, the society's scientists did not accept the stone as a product of Native American culture, and they displayed it separately in a special section. Regarding the origin of the stone, many theories have been proposed. Some researchers, based on the carvings, believe that the stone could be a memorial to a treaty between Native American tribes. Meanwhile, experts from the New Hampshire Historical Society speculated that the stone might have come from either Celtic or Inuit civilizations and could have been one of their tools. Other theories suggest that the stone is a meteorite, a celestial object that fell from the sky, considered by many ancient cultures to be a symbol of thunder gods. Despite the numerous theories, this egg-shaped stone has so many unique features that its age and purpose are still uncertain. The mysterious deep holes in the forests of Russia. The unusual holes were found in 3 main areas: Ryazan and Kaluga provinces in the west, and the Krasnoyarsk region in central Russia. Some of these holes seem to have existed for hundreds of thousands of years, while others appeared suddenly overnight. These holes are deep and perfectly vertical, as if drilled by some sophisticated, complex machine. The most famous hole, which went viral online, was found in a dense forest that people cannot access by car or truck, nor can they bring any equipment to dig down into the earth. No signs of earth being dug up from the hole could be found. Another particularly mysterious hole appeared in Kaluga and was discovered by a shepherd named Pyotr Malinkin. While grazing his cattle in the fields, Malinkin wandered around a 3-mile radius and suddenly came across a large hole in the ground, about 20 feet in diameter. Malinkin was astonished as this had never happened before. It seemed as though the hole had appeared overnight. The cattle seemed to sense something dangerous. They were frightened, avoided the hole, and refused to graze near it. When researchers arrived to investigate the site, local residents reported that the hole had only appeared overnight. No traces of excavation equipment could be found nearby, and there was no evidence of earth being removed from the hole. The hole was not perfectly round, but rather oval in shape. The inside of the hole was very smooth, and it was about 15 feet deep, with a small amount of water at the bottom. The local people had set up a fence around the hole to prevent accidents. Next to this hole, the locals told stories of another large hole that appeared several decades ago. Despite many efforts to fill it, the hole never completely filled. However, when researchers returned to check, the hole had disappeared beneath the thick forest floor. Nearby this hole, there is a strange stream known as the Angry Stream. Whenever someone approaches, the water in the stream begins to boil, and if anyone talks nearby, the water will boil even more violently. This stream is also linked to a legend from the time of Napoleon, where a church was supposedly buried underground after Napoleon's army invaded the area in 1812. One theory explaining this phenomenon is that the Kaluga region has a limestone bedrock where groundwater could erode and create caves. The church might have been sucked into one of these caves, but this still doesn't explain the appearance of these strange holes with extremely smooth and polished walls. There are many theories proposed to explain this phenomenon. Some believe these holes are natural formations, while others suggest they could be the result of a mysterious group of people conducting underground activities. One hypothesis even speculates that extraterrestrials could be involved, with the holes being signs of Earth samples taken during some sort of experiment. However, to date, no theory has solid scientific backing, and these strange holes remain an unsolved mystery. The truth behind these mysterious holes continues to be an enigma that challenges our limited understanding. So what about you? Do you have any guesses about the secret hidden behind them? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below if you have any ideas. And now goodbye and see you next time.